Hi vibes everybody. I just wanted to get on here today and make a video about success and actually putting in the work to achieve your success. And by success, I'm talking about success on all levels, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So a lot of people equate success to different things. So I'm gonna go through a few different examples. So first, let's just talk about, your physical success. If you want to be able to achieve physical success, or whatever you want to say your physical success is, you're going to have to be able to put in the work. You're going to have to put in some effort to be able to do that. Because without putting in the effort in the proper time and the proper care of yourself to be able to do it, then you won't actually be able to achieve that success that you've been trying to achieve. You're actually going to be hindering yourself from being able to do that. Now, you want to make sure that, you're actually putting in the work. You're actually making an effort to achieve the goals. Like if you put in 10% effort, you're going to get 10% results. If you put in 100%, then you're going to get 100% back. So the amount of effort that you put into it, the amount of work that you actually put in, is what you're going to get out. So if you want to actually achieve the things that you're trying to achieve in your life and what you actually want to have happen for you, then you're going to have to be able to put in that work. You're going to have to be able to, you might have to sacrifice some time. You might have to sacrifice some other things because you actually are putting in the work to do that. You might be like, oh, well, that's too much work. That's too hard. Or I'm not going to have time to do this and that. But if you really want it, you're going to have to be able to do those things. Achieving success is not easy. Even the people who just get handed all kinds of money to do stuff, just because they got all that money doesn't mean they know how to deal with all that money. So they actually had to be able to put in that work in order to make sure, like, they might have got the money to start the businesses, but then if they didn't actually put in the work to take care of their business, then they wouldn't even know, not that they wouldn't know, but they wouldn't even be able to achieve that extra level of success after that they did that. Because without putting in a certain amount of work, you won't be able to achieve the success you want. You got to be able to work hard at what you want. You can't just, be half-assing it or half-stepping it or, doing it halfway. That's, doing it 50%, because then you're only going to get those 50% results. And when you achieve, those 50% results, that's still a failing grade. You're only getting halfway. Some people are like, oh, that's good, but at the same time, is that really the success you want to have? Now, that's success in a way because you got halfway to your goal, but are you going to continue to put in that work in order to get to the 100%, get to the full goal that you went to put in? So don't feel like, oh, it's going to come easy, or, oh man, I'm missing out on this and that, because you're not. Because once you're able to achieve whichever goal you had set and whatever lifestyle you were trying to get to, once you were able to get there, you're going to see that now you have the time to do the things that you wanted to do before. But you're going to have to be able to put in the work before you can do that. You can't just expect it to be given to you. You can't expect to not actually go in and do your inner search, outer search, and research on what you're trying to do before that you actually will achieve that level of success. Success comes to a lot of people who actually put in that effort. And not only do they put in the effort physically, they're putting in the effort mentally. So you might have physical success. Now I'm going to talk about mental success. So after you're talking about, oh, you want to get all these things and that, but if you don't have that proper mindset, that proper mental capability, then you're not going to be able to get there. And I'm not talking about intelligence or how much you actually know. I'm talking about being able to do mentally what you need to be able to do. Not what you might actually know, what you have been able to experience, what you have able to actually put in that work for, what you have able to take in your meditations to the next level, to where now your mind is working at a higher capacity. Or even if it's not even working at a higher capacity, it's working more along the lines of what you were trying to do. Because there's many people who are successful who are not smart. They're not intelligent by what the general public would consider intelligent, but they have achieved a high level of success. And one of the main reasons why is because not only did they put in the physical work for it, they also put in the mental work for it. Whatever field they were trying to do, they actually started to put in the work toward that field. They might not have went and studied all that stuff, but they actually worked toward getting the knowledge by doing the firsthand experience. You see how the physical and the mental are now tying together, how they're now coming together in order to achieve more success. So right there, that's only about 66%. You got to be able to get that level of success, because now, before you were just putting in, so then that's 66% if you actually put in 100% of your physical effort, 100% of your mental effort. Now you've put in 66% of your effort toward what you're trying to do, because you got to remember there's 3 points to everything. That 3, that combines to what you're trying to do, that success that you're trying to get to. So with that level of mental success, you got to be able to actually, mentally have the fortitude to keep going. You can't let these distractions and stuff actually stop you as you're saying, okay, I'm going to actually do this. I'm actually going to put in the effort for this. But then you don't have the mental strength or the mental fortitude to be able to keep going, to be able to not let the things that are stopping you actually stop you. And a lot of times it's yourself stopping you, because you're not actually trying to make yourself into the best way that you can in order to do the level of success that you are trying to do. Not the level of success that society is saying is success, but the level of success that you yourself are trying to do. So basically, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're actually putting in the physical efforts to do it. Like whether that be, okay, now you got to get the money for it. Okay, now you got to get the supplies for it. Or maybe you have to work out so that you can get the physical capabilities in your actual body to be able to do what you're trying to do. Or to get the physical location that you need to be able to do that. So you got to be able to put in that physical work in order to get there. But without the mental behind the physical work, then you won't even have the proper mindset to stay on your path, to stick to your plan that you're trying to do. I made that video about following your plan, how things might change. But the level of that is like when things are starting to change, it might affect your mind state. It might affect how you see the situation, how you're actually reacting to the situation, how you're actually becoming and going through the situation. So you have to be able to see how your mentality, your perspective is actually going to change how you're able to achieve a higher level of success than if you did only the physical work. Because again, that's only part of it. You got to be able to get all levels of it, because you have to be able to know that you physically did it, and then also that you mentally are capable of doing what you need to do. And again, I'm not talking about, your level of intelligence. I'm talking about your level of effort, mental effort and fortitude that you put into whatever task that you have in order to achieve your success. Now, let's talk about the last point, is your spiritual success. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you're actually putting in the effort to do it. You want to be able to put in that extra spiritual effort in order to put it behind it. Because without the proper energy behind what you were doing, then it won't be able to achieve that extra level of success. So the more that you actually put into your spiritual work, your meditations, your rituals, your getting on your spiritual navigation system, taking care of spirit, which is within you, which is within everybody. And once you start doing that, you'll start seeing the level of your success start to rise. You'll start seeing that level of success start to grow higher and stronger and even more powerful than it was ever before. You got to be able to put that level of energy behind it. But if you're not putting in that work to spiritually to achieve that level of energy, to achieve that level of inner focus, that inner standing, that overstanding, that overseeing and all that you need in order to get to those different levels, then it's going to be very hard for you to be able to get to where you're trying to go. Remember, because when you put in 100% physically and mentally, you're still only 66% there. You still need the other 33% in order to be able to get to where you're going. Because 66% That's cool. You were able to get a little bit more than halfway there, so you might have been able to get some things going that you wanted to do, but then because you didn't have the proper energy and the proper spiritual focus behind it, now it's not even there. And spiritual focus can equate to a lot of different things depending on your understanding of spirituality, how much meditation and effort that you actually put into that, because that takes a lot of effort, and that takes a lot of effort on all 3 points. Because when you start dealing with that spiritual aspect, now you're dealing with all of the aspects, because the spiritual runs through all. So matter of fact, I'm going to make a correction. When you put in 100% on your physical and mental, you still haven't achieved that 66%, because you didn't have the proper energy to go through those. So even those are, it might be your 100%, but it wasn't really the 100% that you needed to put in. No, just take a second to think about that. But you have to be able to see that the spiritual runs through everything, that you need that energy to do that. That's why you get tired from doing certain things. And say you might actually like your job, you might actually be like, okay, going to work actually makes me feel better, it actually makes me get higher in vibes, it actually makes me become motivated and to do what I need to do. Is because now you're getting in tune with your spiritual energy, you're getting in tune with your spiritual self, which can help you in all aspects. Because without that energy, I'm going to say this again, without that energy that you have, you won't be able to get to the next level. You won't be able to get to where you're actually going. Like, a lot of people are smart, they're very smart, very intelligent. As far as intelligence goes for what regular society believes is intelligence, the amount of knowledge that you actually have accumulated through their schooling and all that. So you can be very intelligent and still not achieve your success. You can have that proper mental fortitude and still not achieve your success. You can have that proper physical fortitude, that physical effort, and still not achieve your success. Because if you're not in line with what your inner spirit, your higher self, is actually trying to get you to do, is not trying to have you put that energy into those things, then it's not even going to work out. Now, you will be able, I'm not saying that it's not going to fully work out. You might be able to do certain things. That's why you still achieved a certain level of success. You've achieved success on those 2 levels, on physical and mental. But those 2 are nothing without the spiritual. You need that spiritual effort, that spiritual work, that spiritual fortitude, that spiritual effort to put in, and that spiritual energy in order to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And without it, you're not going to be able to. Not to the fullest capability. You talk about being limitless, like not having any limits. Well, you're limiting yourself by only seeing 2 aspects when there's the third aspect. That Trinity that runs through all, that runs through everything, even when you break down different things. Matter of fact, that's not going to be in this video. I'm probably going to make a whole nother video about that, giving it just a little basic understanding of that. But let's get back to your spiritual effort and focus and work. You want to make sure that you're putting in the effort into your different spiritual practices, whatever those may be. A main one is meditation. That's why I say it a lot, is you want to make sure that you get your proper meditation in. You want to make sure that you get your proper spiritual work in. You're talking with the proper people that's going to help raise you in vibes. It's going to help you learn more about yourself and learn more about what's going on around you and make you be able to achieve that level of success. But you're going to have to start getting that deeper understanding, that 3, that deeper understanding of your physical, of your mental, of your spiritual. Because without all 3, it's not going to be balanced. It's not going to be focused. You got to be able to have all 3 points. You got to be able to have that stability from being able to keep all 3 points online in order to get to where you're going. Because if you don't, then it's not going to be aligned with what the success that you're trying to achieve. Because success can come in many different forms. Now, you can be mentally successful and not be physically successful. Just like you could be spiritually successful and not mentally or physically successful. But if you are spiritually successful, more than likely, you're going to get to the mental and physical, because in order to achieve the spiritual success, you're going to have to see the other 2, because spirit runs through all. You're going to see it You're going to be able to experience it. You're not going to just be taking somebody's word for it. You're going to be able to actually experience that. I say it in a couple different videos. No, don't take my word for it. Don't take somebody else's word for it. Don't take your professor, your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is that's starting to put those limits on you. Don't take their word for it. If they do have some good information, take that in and take the understanding and take your time to meditate on it so that you can learn more. But don't just take their word for it. Actually go and experience it. Because without that experience, you won't actually understand the situation that you're even getting yourself into. You won't be able to achieve the success that you want to achieve. You have to be able to get it on all 3 points. Now, I'm going to keep saying it because this is very important. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to make my life better. So they start getting into spirituality, but they're not actually putting in that work. They're not actually putting in the effort to do it. Because once you actually start putting in the effort, you will see the success of your efforts. You will see the results. You won't have to read about results that somebody else got. You'll be able to see the results that you got. And so make sure that you are seeing it and you're doing it and you're thinking about it. You're putting in those efforts on all 3 levels in order to achieve your success. Because success doesn't come easy. You always have to put in work to get your success. Anybody who's actually did stuff, you'd be like, oh, they were easy. They just cheated this person out of this and that. Even to do that, you have to be able to put in work. So no matter what you're trying to do, you're going to have to put in that effort. You can't let those lazy feelings and, being tired and all that stop you. You got to be able to put in that work. And once you do put in the work, you're going to see the results. But I feel like that's enough information to give you guys for this video here. Just make sure that you are putting in that work on all 3 levels, spiritually, mentally, and physically, and keep turning up and keep raising up your vibration and your awareness to be able to see how these different elements are actually going to interplay with each other, because this is just a basic understanding. It can get a lot deeper. I know it gave you a lot of information, but it goes even further once you actually start putting in that work. Like I say, once you put in the work, you'll see the results. If you apply the different information, then you will know if it works or not, and you will see the results. You will be able to tell, okay, that person was telling me a lie, or that person actually was speaking some truth. You never know until you actually put in that effort. But again, that's all I wanted to say. My full love and highest of vibrations, and of course, my gratitude.